Scott with SJWellfire.com, Final Days Report, episode 478. We've told you for years, at least at the federal level, you're dealing with the right-left scam, wings of the same bird, order out of chaos, more evidence thereof. And then how does the evidence of perverts protecting perverts fit Trump's cyber security strategy that he just announced that is going to weaponize artificial intelligence against you? This is a deep podcast. We're going to do a lot of reading. I'll bake in a couple videos to prove my point. But the first story I want to cover is perverts protecting perverts, the right-left joke. From NBC News, House kills effort to release all congressional sexual misconduct and harassment reports. Think Epstein files a long time ago. Think WikiLeaks that started Pizzagate. Think about the Franklin cover-up where the Bush vice president and Ronald Reagan, they were running boys. It was really a Bush operation, running young boys out of Omaha for honey traps, dealing with sickos. But let's read a little bit about this article. Mace, a conservative Republican who is running to be governor of South Carolina, forced a floor vote on her resolution directing the House Ethics Committee to make public all reports on allegations of congressional lawmakers and aides engaging in sexual misconduct or harassment. Now, here's the kicker. This is the right-left scam. But the vote basically was 357 to 65. So only 65 people said, yeah, let's expose these perverts or compromised people. So the House voted to refer the Mace resolution to committee, a move that effectively killed it. Laws for them, laws for you. It reminds me of insider trading. If you're on the left or right, you go into Congress, it's a con. They come out multimillionaires.
A Florida congressman now running for governor had to say about it back in 2022.
Members of Congress should not be trading. We have information that the public does not have available to them. We get it so much sooner than it's quote unquote publicly available. We shouldn't be doing it. It sends the wrong message. If the members want to earn money in the stock market, leave Congress. But we shouldn't be doing that while we're serving the United States of America.
Doesn't that sound great? But according to QuiverQuant.com, Byron's made 348 total trades so far in Congress, with his last trade being on December 18th, 2025. And his total volume of trades is $10.83 million. And yet, he still says it's fine because his broker was making the trades for him. Like that somehow makes it better. Come on, man. You're either all in or you're all out. Stop being a fence rider. He's traded over $10 million while in office, and we're supposed to believe he's not involved.
And so think about this. Think about the norms. Think about these Freemasons. Think about these people that are controlled by the woman of the book of Revelation. Think about the evil and what they and who they worship. And we're going to apply that to Trump's cyber strategy to protect norms and culture. What norms and culture are they protecting? Hollywood, academia, the healthcare system that defiles kids, change their genders with operations, allowing men to go in women's bathrooms. Like, what norms are we protecting? Folks, we're living in satanic, lawless times. So Trump's president cyber strategy for America, this is nothing short of the beast system being implemented. And it reminds me of the NASA document that we covered years ago. That's a war on you. But key takeaways as I go through multiple pages of this strategy with my insights, my observation, my opinion as a watchman, is this cyber strategy goes against adversaries. So who are the adversaries? Will that be Christians or people that don't want to take part in the mark of the beast system? People that are awake, maybe they're not even Christians, but they know evil is running this world. We've done multiple podcasts years ago about who is a domestic terrorist, a potential domestic terrorist in America. This is even liberal people that we've covered. Another key takeaway, AI trained to protect norms culture. Will it protect Noahide Laws? And are these satanic norms, that story that I just basically covered? AI will be weaponized, this is key, to detect, so it's monitoring you, deceive, It's going to be activated to deceive. Think the reversal of the Smith-Mundt Act, where news is allowed to deceive Americans. Subdue adversaries. So are those Christians? Are those people talking about the woman of the book of Revelation that we talk about? And again, non-mark of the beast system followers, Christians or not. AI will be used with private corporations that, with new regulation, bypasses laws in the Constitution, eliminates state and local laws. We'll prove it out. AI will be used to thwart free speech deemed as propaganda. Cultural subversion, is that satanic cultural perversion? And influence operations, is that the church? A church that knows the truth? A church that speaks against the Schofield Bible? The Schofield Bible, I was listening to a pastor early days, one of the first two iterations, basically said that Jesus learned from the Talmud. The Talmud says you can rape a 3-year-old and her hymen will grow back. You can rape kids under 9 years old. Folks, sick stuff. I can't believe the church has fallen for that. We're dealing with evil. So those are the key takeaways that we'll dive into. All right, this is one of the first parts of the cyber strategy. And again, the beast system is being implemented right before your eyes. The National Cyber Strategy outlines my priorities, this is Trump speaking, for ensuring that America remains unrivaled in cyberspace. And you got to go back. If you're just waking up to this, go back to a lot of our old VCasts, the last 200-300 of them. We called out how the right was going to implement the AI beast system, order out of chaos, flood the countries in with illegals, and have a solution that enslaves us all. It's not hard to see. It calls for the unprecedented coordination across government and private sectors. That's fascism. To invest the best technologies in continued world-class innovation and to make the most of America's cyber capabilities, get this, for both offensive and defensive missions. This is evidence with the sale of TikTok, and we've played multiple videos where people can't even search the Epstein files. They're controlling information. The Smith-Mundt Act reversal on steroids. Controlling the message, controlling the narrative. No, TikTok wasn't forced to be sold in the United States because of evil. It was sold because people were waking up. A lot of truth was told on TikTok. There's a lot of garbage, sure, but a lot of truth was told on TikTok. People woke up. Now, who can make war with the beast? Think about offensive. This is from Katlin Kilinowski, who recently sent this post. I resigned from OpenAI. I care deeply about robotics team and the work we built together. This wasn't an easy call. AI has an important role in national security, but the surveillance of Americans without judicial oversight and lethal autonomy without human authorizations are lines that deserve more deliberation than they got. This is about principle, not people. I have deep respect for Sam Altman and the team, and I'm proud of what we built together. So Caitlin, I think I'm pronouncing her name correctly, resigned because they're building the surveillance state system. And they're telling you this with the cyber strategy for America. Offensive capabilities, just another proof point thereof. And think about this. This is a global plan. The EU Identity Wallet, a beginner's guide. With the approval of ELDAS2, 400 million EU citizens will soon have an EU digital identity wallet. This fits the move for ID 2020, where you can't do anything without being tracked, from your finances to buying groceries to travel to going online. It's a coordinated Mark of the Beast system plan. Let's continue. Who are the adversaries? By disrupting adversaries, I think those are Christians, cyber campaigns, and making our networks more defensible and resilient, we will unleash innovation, accelerate economic growth, and secure American technology dominance. Economic growth, AI, surveillance state, money in surveilling you, money in controlling what you buy with optogenetics. We will remove burdensome, ineffective regulations so that our industry partners innovate quickly in emerging technologies. Partners in the private sector must be able to respond and recover quickly to ensure continuity of American economy. Now, this is the surveillance state new financial model. This is your carbon trackers, your social credit trackers. We will defend our federal systems, critical infrastructure, and supply chains by putting security at the foundation of innovation. Security. We will modernize our information systems. This is the AI Stargate announcement, so that the old infrastructure does not choke innovation. We will engage internationally through diplomacy, commerce, and operations to ensure norms and standards reflect our values. What are their values? These are Luciferians. This is the Epstein ruling class. As Pam Bondi said, if she takes down everybody within the Epstein list, the whole system collapses. They don't have my values. This is evidence of the article I just covered. We will establish new relationships between the public and private sectors to defend Americas. This reminds me as well of the militarization, the sworn-in tech executives into the military. We'll cover that story later. But think about this, about protecting the norms. House kills effort to release all congressional sexual misconduct and harassment reports. They don't represent you. They represent the Luciferian central bankers, the woman of the book of Revelation. So you have to remember, these Luciferians, the enemy is ultimately the cross. Human beings, as Revelation 12 talks about, but then they go after Christians. This is a seed war. Satanists hate Christians. President Trump has made targeting Americans a hazardous business. Right. Palantir, give me a break. Our adversaries have and will increasingly feel the consequences of their actions. We will dismantle networks, pursue hackers and spies. So dismantle networks, is that a Christian network? And sanction lawless foreign hacking companies. We will unveil and embarrass online espionage, destructive propaganda. Is destructive propaganda speaking against the Gaza genocide? An influence operation. Is an influence operation somebody that is trying to wake people up on the truth against the controlled reversal of the Smith-Mundt Act propaganda? They've lost the narrative. And cultural subversion, people that are saying, live a godly life, don't do as you will, the Luciferian agenda. You need to understand words, because who's writing this? The synagogue of Satan is writing this. So is promoting the Bible hate speech? Is it propaganda? We've talked about for years different articles where they want to rewrite the Bible and get rid of hate speech, get rid of who was involved in the crucifixion of Christ. It's prophecy. Greatest miracle was the resurrection of Jesus Christ, the ultimate sacrifice. The Bible fits together like a glove. It's mind-bending. It's absolutely mind-bending. But think about how the left it feels the Bible is about hate speech. No, it's just talking against sin. This is a soul battle. If you're involved in some wicked lifestyle choices and haven't come to Christ, come to Christ. You will be free. Get rid of the demons that you've opened doors to. But I go back to who wrote this? Destructive propaganda, influence operation, cultural subversions. I go back to the dream I had years ago. Right when I got saved, I saw Christians hiding their Bible, going and worshiping underground. This is in America. Playing the guitar, lip syncing, giving praise to the Lord. And I can see it happening now with this AI beast system that's going to be activated. Let's continue. Our adversaries, Christians, people that don't want to take the mark of the beast or partake in their system, and cyber criminals target our families, neighbors, small businesses, farmers, first responders, patients, senior citizens in cyberspace. So is that spreading the gospel? I want to play a quick video. In Florida, the government they're making or have made laws that you can't criticize Israel, which I think is the woman of the book of Revelation. So who controls you is who you can't criticize.
In Florida, they've passed a new law. This is the third law that makes it illegal to speak about Judaism. And today in Florida, they passed a law. It was adopted today, and it's called the Anti-Semitism task force. It's a task force to find people that criticize Judaism. Now, I'm here to say, Judaism needs to be criticized. Mohammedanism, Islam, it needs to be criticized. Catholicism needs to be criticized. Mormonism, it needs to be criticized. And when they tell you, you need to preach a Jesus that's palatable to another religion, or we're going to arrest you and lock you up, then I say what Peter said right here through the power of the Holy Spirit. We're better off to obey God rather than man. And we need to have this attitude and this spirit that it's God that gives us our freedom. And if we won't take a stand and speak the truth now, then why should he continue to bless us? And if America continues to roll over to these literally anti-Christ laws, I want you to understand, and again, of course, we're not racist in this church. Let's be clear. Okay? He made all nations of one blood. We'll see that here in the book of Acts. A Semite is somebody that comes from the land of Shem, but guess who's not in Israel? They're not Shem at all. To criticize Israel and say that they're trying to build the third temple, which is what the Bible tells us the man of sin, the son of perdition, is going to do, that's the Antichrist. And for a Christian to get up and say, Judaism killed Jesus, and Judaism today, which is a religion, not a race, is trying to build the Antichrist temple, we need to sound the alarm. And that's not a racist statement. But when your government says, we need a task force to find people that are warning people about Judaism, and we need to arrest them and take away their property and lock them up, it's un-American and it's anti-Christ. We need to be bold like Peter was, and we need to speak the truth. That's illegal. We're going to make a task force, a team to investigate, to set punishments and call it criminal to speak up and say that Judaism was part of putting Jesus to death. That's the speech make illegal. We talked about this 2 years ago in H.R. 6090, where that was a Senate bill, a House Senate bill in the U.S. Now there's 3 or 4 bills that have been passed in Florida. Ron DeSantis, our governor, went to Jerusalem and he bowed at the Wailing Wall, which is not biblical, it's not Christian. It's invoking the Shekinah glory, which is Satan himself, if you don't know what that is. Shekinah is not in the Bible, it's a feminine angel. And he passes these laws for Florida from over there. And
this is deep. Let's continue. This is probably the most wicked slide within the strategy. Sustain superiority in critical and emerging technologies. This is AI weaponization. Securing American innovation and protecting our national intellectual advantage will be paramount. We will build secure technologies and supply chains that protect user privacy from design to development, including supporting the security, cryptocurrencies, and blockchain. This is the mark of the beast money system. This is the central bank digital currencies. This is the stable coins, central bank digital currency light, where they can cut off your bank accounts. They can tax you. This is nothing short of stealing your wealth, putting you on the blockchain. It should be called Black Chain, Lucifer Chain. And we will secure the AI technology stack, including our data centers, that's AI Stargate, and promote innovation in AI security. We will swiftly implement AI-enabled cyber tools to detect, so they're telling you AI is going to be used to surveil everything. Divert, so that's controlling your thoughts, feelings, and behavior, and deceive threat actors. So who's a threat actor? I love how they use the words actors. Are these actors the players of the world in this theater of war? Are these adversaries, Christians? People trying to save souls? Who are they going to activate AI to detect, divert, and deceive? We know many comments are bots. This is disruption. They're telling you they're unlocking artificial intelligence to deceive. If it were possible, even the very elect could be deceived. AI weaponization. Cyber tools to detect, divert, and deceive you. Unbelievable. And I laughed out loud. This screams propaganda and digital pandemic. But let's read. President Trump's actions, however, send a clear message. We will act to defend our interests in cyberspace. America, we're pirates. Whether destroying online scammers, networks that basically have seized 15 billion of stolen money. So these are online scams, which is evil. Supporting a global spanning operation to obliterate Iran's nuclear infrastructure. Ooh, Iran, they've been creating fear since I can remember in the 70s. Iran might get the nuclear bomb. Now, this is about the Greater Israel Program, or leaving our adversaries blind and uncomprehending during a flawless military operation to bring international narco-terrorist Nicolas Maduro to justice. Folks, if you believe that, USA Inc. runs the drugs. Watch Clinton Chronicles, the left-right scam. We brought the narco-terrorist Nicolas Maduro. No, this is theater. Was he arrested? Maybe. But we've shown over the years him doing his Freemason hand signs. Is he an actor? Is he sitting like Epstein, in my humble opinion, somewhere sipping a martini? What a joke. This is a joke. Death will be real, but war and so much of this is a script. All of this reminds me of The Economist magazine, of what we're seeing in Iran. They told us what we're going to see. Inflation, gas prices. It's right in front of you. And watch out, my friends, for a digital pandemic. We've called out in this ministry Trump talking about monitoring the web on so many fronts, recently with Charlie Kirk, with Israel, so-called hate speech. Now, people are just calling out facts most of the time. And if somebody threatens somebody with their life, of course, take action. But let's read. Our resolve is absolute. This is Trump speaking. We will act swiftly, deliberately, and proactively to disable cyber threats to America. We will not confine our responses to the cyber realm. We will undertake an unprecedented effort operating in a coordinated, sustained fashion across the U.S. government, working with allies across the globe. We will protect U.S. interests and security. We will fight the curtailment of free speech. What a joke. Just like the last slide of getting rid of the narco-terrorists from Venezuela. And it just so happened that we're going after the 10 King map, the technocrat map. All those countries need to fall to bring in the 10 kings of the book of Revelation. So Trump's called to monitor the net so many times. And so has the left under hate speech mostly. Pam Bondi, people speaking against Charlie, we need to monitor speech. No. And I suspect a digital pandemic, World Economic Forum, Davos, next 2 years, worse than COVID-19. Check out Final Days Report 244. World Economic Forum scrubbed it. Is that a playbook here? Final Days Report 374. Will Trump censor the net? If you don't believe me, his words. Don't be fooled. Now get this. This is shaping adversary behavior. Let's say Christians, non-mark of the beast participants, people that are awake, people that want to be free and independent from the system, from the ID 2020 system. This is propaganda. This is AI moving you and changing your thoughts, feelings, and behavior, the cognitive triangle. We will unleash the private sector by creating incentives to identify and disrupt adversary networks, Christian networks, and scale our national capabilities. You can't make this up. This reminds me again of the tech executives sworn into the military. So you need to think about this strategy with future prophecy. Don't accept Noahide Laws? You're going to be persecuted. You might have to give the ultimate sacrifice. But here we go, military.com. Tech executives commissioned as senior army officers. Fascism. And without big-time government contracts, Elon Musk, he would not exist as he exists today. I personally am watching to see if he is the false prophet that will bring on the mark of the beast. Check out our series. You can't make this up. And I highly suggest Final Days Report 463. OmniMind 666. Unlock the AIB system per Larry Ellison of Oracle. Linked to the CIA for his star. All these big tech companies, or the majority of them, have some sort of link to the government. They have some sort of link to DARPA. All right, they're going to dismantle common law, the Constitution. Basically, this says promote common sense regulation. And if you really trust the government, think back to the National Defense Authorization Act. under the false flag of 911 in the reversal of the Smith-Mundt Act, where they can actually do psyops on the American people with the controlled news. You really think that this is good? Weaponizing AI to detect, to deceive? Huh. Oh, but they're going to emphasize the right to privacy for Americans and American data. Really? You believe this? Just another podcast we did, 417, Final Days Report 417, Trump monitoring the net. Who controls Trump? I don't believe it for a second. All right, they're building their AI god. They're centralizing the AI beast system. Secure the critical infrastructure. We will identify, prioritize, and harden Americans' critical infrastructure to secure its supply chains, including defense critical infrastructure and adjacent vendors, private companies that they help create, many of them, networks and services such as the energy grid. So they suck all our water. They give us smart meters to monitor and have us pay more for their energy. And our electrical bills skyrocket. And they're protecting the financial and telecommunication system. 6G is needed for this beast system. The cryptocurrencies, the central bank digital currencies are needed for the mark of the beast system. Data centers, water utilities, and hospitals securing information and operation technology supply chains. They need your DNA. We've covered the scam of the hospitals and Larry Ellison on how they want to know your DNA. They're like, we can cure your cancer. They give you cancer, then they say they can cure it. It's a scam. We must move away from adversary vendors and products promoting and employing U.S. technologies. We'll deny our adversaries initial access in the event of an accident. We must be able to recover quickly. It screams digital pandemic, burn out down the old system. Now here, get this. This kind of fits one of the slides that I didn't read. But if you think the state and local government are going to be able to save you, it sounds like they're not. We will galvanize the role of state, local, tribal, and territorial authorities as a complement to, not a substitute for, our national cybersecurity efforts. They're coming. This is the beast system. And just another proof point, old story. DHS, Department of Homeland Security, seeks enterprise-wide biometric matching software in sweeping new request for information, or RFI. This is building the beast surveillance pole in every city. Now, with the war in Iran, inflation, obviously, check, right? We warned about that 3 or 4 podcasts ago. This reminds me of Operation Northwoods. So why would they tell us U.S. intel helped Mexico in raid that killed drug lord Almencho? White House says. And then all of a sudden Mexico's burning. And I've had dreams of terrorist cells striking America in train stations that I've covered years ago. But then Biden opened our border to Iran, terrorism threats. See, it's this right-left scam. Expect terrorism threats here in the United States. And if you're Jewish, expect terrorism threats against you. Personally, I think that'll be your own government as evidence in history in different Middle Eastern countries. This is a playbook to drive fear. Why? Why the false flags? To weaponize AI against you. So we get the strategy of having AI detect and deceive you. If it were possible, even the very elect would be deceived. And to build this mark of the beast system. Expect it. And have no fear. Now, we've covered the scripture multiple times, but a friend of mine, I was talking to him about a different story, and he said something that just unlocked 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7 in a profound way. I want to read it. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And what he said to me, which I thought was interesting, is sound mind. So you have a sound mind. What don't you have? A spirit of fear. That's why the Luciferians need to drive drama and fear. Think of people in fear with COVID-19. It's your time. It's your time. Pastor Larry always says, you can't threaten me with heaven. I love it. It's the attitude we need to have. Just thought that was an interesting insight that I have never seen. Reverse it. You have a sound mind. You don't have a spirit of fear. Wise wise as serpents, gentle as doves, because Satan is very wise. But people are waking up. Pray that they get saved, because ultimately this is a seed war and it's a soul war. We are here to save souls. We are here to make sure we are wise virgins and to do Jesus Christ's bidding. And I pray these Satanist Luciferians get saved. I've heard stories of some of these kids that have been brought up with such trauma and such evil. It is unbelievable. Unbelievable. But folks, this beast system that we've been warning about is moving fast. 6G, I think, is going to be key for them. This next couple of years is going to be the year of disruption, the years of chaos, as predicted by The Economist magazine. So God bless. Thanks for your support. Hopefully this was a blessing. Please share. Words have meaning. Who are the adversaries? And you really trust them that they're going to protect your privacy? They're dismantling everything. A politician just said Trump is bringing on the New World Order reset. And I'm paraphrasing. I'll hopefully play the video. It's a reset. Trump's resetting the world.
Donald Trump is resetting the world in a way nobody could have dreamed of a year ago.
He's bringing on the 10 kings. Break from your right-left nonsense. They're perverts protecting perverts. What norms are they trying to protect? What cultural values are they trying to protect? Lucifer's? Kabbalah, Freemason, the Talmud, Noahide Laws? No. I bind it all in the name of Jesus Christ. Have a blessed day.